If you've got the music in you, you should sing, you must sing. If you've got the music in you, what is your music and are you going to sing? And there's a great question that we always ask here at Max. The 2 epic moments in your life, do you know what they are? And it's been suggested that the first epic moment in your life is the day that you were born. Yes, celebrate! So that makes birthdays really special. So every single day you're special, but on your birthday you're twice as special. So I've got this really cool song that I sing. Happy, happy birthday, birthday to you. Happy, happy birthday, birthday to you. Happy, happy birthday, birthday to you. Happy, happy birthday, birthday to you, because twice as special. So that's the day you were born, epic moment. Second epic moment is when you find out why you were born. What is the music that you were meant to sing for the world? What is the thing that you are the most excited about that you're going to share with the world? And is it possible that if you live your life doing the things that you love the most and then living your life, the thing that you earn money doing, who you are and what you do, when they're the same thing because they are the thing that you are the most passionate about, could that mean that you are happy? And it's one of those rah-rah motivational questions about, are you happy? And a lot of people talk about, I can't, even the psychologists and psychiatrists don't like to talk about happiness. It's a bit weird. But ultimately, isn't that what we're all doing? Whatever we are aiming to achieve, whatever we're aiming to do, whatever is going to happen in our life, it's about being happy. I'm going to do that because it makes me happy. Sadly, there are a lot of people who talk about happiness with when and if. When I get more money, if I lost weight, when I have better people in my life, if I go on holidays, I'll be happy. Well, how about this? Could you choose to be happy every day? And here's one of the reasons to maybe question, consider, aim to understand as to what happened in the past that affects the future. And a lot of people talk about the past in real negative terms. I had a terrible past, I had terrible family or terrible teachers, or something horrible happened in my past. And is it possible that we blame the past rather than learning from it and using it as a reason to be successful in the future? So I'm going to give you just a very personal story. When my mother became pregnant with me, she was very mature. So mature, in fact, that when she went to the doctor she told the doctor that she was pregnant. She'd already had 5 children. So she said to the doctor, I'm pregnant, I know that I'm pregnant. And he said to her, no, you're going through menopause. You're not having a period because you are now too old to have children. And turns out that she was pregnant, and she was pregnant with me. And the interesting thing now was, Mrs. Cesarin, Mr. Cesarin, you shouldn't have this baby. This baby's going to be retarded. It's going to be have some kind of physical disability. It's going to be a child that is not going to have great quality of life. You should abort this child. And very luckily for me, my parents decided that they would take the risk and that they would bring me into the world. My father was very mature, very cool old guy, having a small child, but my mother, she actually had to have me. And when you know that you were supposed to be a mess, that when you came into the world you weren't supposed to be a successful person, how does that affect your future? And to me, that just makes my life even so much more precious, because I wasn't even supposed to be born, and here I am living my life, and now I'm a mature old lady loving my life. So when you come into the world, could that be the epic moment? That of all the things, and we talk about this sometimes as a joke when we do gynecological studies in school, when we talk about the reproductive system and how amazing it is, but how incredible it is that that one little sperm connects with that one little egg and you produce a child. It's just an amazing thing. So first of all, could we celebrate the fact that we were born? Could that be a really good thing to consider? Then the next thing is, whatever happened between when we were born and now, can we change any of it? And of course the answer is no. There's no would've, could've, should've. There's just I did or I didn't. I can't change whether I did something terrible, or whether I didn't achieve the things I wanted to achieve, or whether I didn't learn enough in school, or whether I had poor relationships. I can't change the past. But isn't it awesome that whatever's happened to me in the past, I can learn from it and put it into my future to make sure that my future is amazing. And it's one of the things that I love to do every day is celebrate what happened today, whether it was good or bad, because I can't change what happened today, but what did I learn from today so I can apply it into tomorrow. It's one of the reasons why I love to celebrate birthdays, and I think that it's a really special day, not because that's your birthday, but because it's the celebration of the fact that you were put onto the planet. And then what a great time to reflect on what have I done in the last 12 months that I'm proud of? What have I done that I'm not proud of and I don't want to do that again next year? What do I need to do more of next year to make my life even better? What do I need to do less of or none of because it didn't add value to my life? What a great time to reflect. So do we blame the past for our current state and then blame it for our non-success in the future? And it's a really good question that I was absolutely nailed with at a very young age. One of the members at one of my health clubs was a neuroscientist slash head doctor. And the suggestion was made to me that mental health is literally taking full responsibility for everything that happens in your life. So if you want to be mentally healthy, don't blame anybody else, because the suggestion by the neuroscientist was that if you are at this end of the scale where you are mentally unwell, mentally unhealthy, it's because you are not taking responsibility. You're blaming other people. You're justifying what happened in your past as a reason for why you can't be successful in the future. And because I was delivered that information quite harshly, I decided that I was going to consider it. Why would somebody share such information with me so incredibly passionately but also strongly? Is it important to take full responsibility for your life? And that's the big lesson I learned, that I don't want to blame anybody else. I can't change my parents, I can't change my teachers, I can't change anything that I've done in the past. So why would I blame it? Why not use your past as a university, literally a huge learning curve, a huge study process, a huge research study and analysis on what to do more of, what to do none of, and what to learn and grow from. And if I'm blaming my past, what kind of excuse is that for my future? And I always ask the question, if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a leader, somebody who is responsible for the future of our future adults, what are we teaching them if we are blaming our past? I can't be successful because, and I could say that, I can't be successful because my parents weren't even going to have me be born. I was supposed to be aborted. So, what was my life ever going to be? So I could blame that. I could blame all the people who told me that I couldn't be successful because I was a woman, I had blonde hair, I didn't have a tertiary education, I didn't even finish year 10 in high school, I didn't have all the things required to be successful. But I'm going to share the opposite with you. Is it possible that you can take all the reasons that people give you not to be successful, not to be happy, not to have the life that you want, and put them into practice as a reason for, as a justification for having a great life? And I'm, again, very privileged that I was taught those things at a very young age, because I didn't want to make excuses for anything about my life. And I'll give you, again, a very personal story. I had the privilege of being recognised in Australia as one of the richest people in Australia under the age of 40. And I was on the list of most successful companies 2 years in a row, or fastest growing companies in Australia. And when I was interviewed, because a bit of press comes with that stuff, and when I was interviewed for those two experiences, the question was, how did you do that? You are a woman, you don't have a tertiary education, you come from it. And when I ran away from home at just under 15 years of age, I ran to a suburb in Sydney, Australia, called Campbelltown, which is considered a low socioeconomic area. And a lot of people have said to me, you can't be successful because you're from that area. So isn't that an interesting justification? I can't be successful because of where I live. I can't be successful because of the kind of education I did or didn't get. Or I can't be successful because, and here's a good one, the colour of my hair. A lot of people said to me, you're a woman with blonde hair, you can't possibly be successful. I could have used all of those things as a reason or an excuse or a justification for not being successful. But when I was interviewed by the press for how did you get to be in a position where you are one of the richest people in Australia at such a young age and your company is going exceptionally well, how did you do that? And my answer is exactly because I've got blonde hair, because I'm a woman, because I don't have a tertiary education, because I came from a low socioeconomic area, because I was born into a family where all my brothers and sisters were way older than me, and there's a funny story that's kind of an urban myth in my family. My eldest sister, when I was born, she'd already left home. She was already a school teacher, and there was a bit of a conspiracy going on in the small country town I was born in that I wasn't really my mother's child, that I was really my sister's illegitimate child, and my mother was taking responsibility for me. And there was a lot of stories attached to that. And I'm just sharing those personal things with you because I could use all of those things. People have told me, Rowie, you can't be successful because you're a woman with blonde hair, with no tertiary education, from a low socioeconomic area, and because you ran away from home, and how could you possibly have a life that you love? And here I am as a mature old lady, and I love saying that because I've lived a really long time, and I'm really proud of every day that I live. I make the most of it. I don't blame other people for things that have happened to me. I take full responsibility for everything that happens to me. How about you? And I'll use some simple examples. People say, I'm overweight or I'm fat. That's one of the things that people say. I can't be successful because I'm too fat or I've got too much weight on. Well, what if you look at it differently? Isn't it awesome that you're overweight? Because it means you've got a choice. There's a lot of people in the world who would like to be overweight, but they can't because they've got no food to eat. So they couldn't get fat if they wanted to because they just don't have enough food. So if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, rather than blaming somebody else, and have you heard that? I've tried everything and it doesn't work, and people blame their job and they blame having no time and having no money and having no support for being overweight. What about being thankful for being overweight? I'm thankful that I've put on weight. It means that I can eat whatever I bloody well want, which also means that I don't have to eat it if I don't want to, and that's called a choice. Wouldn't it be nice to take responsibility for that? Something like being sick. A lot of people, I can't be successful because I'm sick, or we've lived in a world, if you've lived in 2020, 2021, 2022, there's a lot of people that have said, I can't have a successful business because of a sickness that was in the world, a worldwide medical pandemic, or I got sick and it affected my life or it affected my success. One of the things I do with sickness, if I ever get sick, and I haven't been for a long time, because I took responsibility for the reason for getting sick. When you've got a strong immune system, when you've got a positive attitude, when you're really fit and healthy and strong, it's very difficult for your body to get sick, to be run down enough to get your immune system at a point where it can be attacked by germs, bugs and viruses and you can't fight back. I'm not going to blame anybody for that. That's my fault. There was a big virus that came into the world. A lot of people got sick, but a lot of people didn't get sick. Or they got the virus, but it didn't affect them because they had a really strong immune system. So it's an even more simple example. If I ever get a headache, I go, okay, I need to drink more water, because one of the classic signs of having a headache is that you are dehydrated. Brain cells are 90% fluid. If you get dehydrated, you're going to get a headache. So rather than blaming, I can't do that because I've got a headache, take responsibility. I do take responsibility. You've got a headache because you didn't drink enough. You got fat because you didn't look after yourself. You ate too much food. And there's the really tough thing that the psychiatrist shared with me at a very young age. Rowie, if you're fat, you ate it. If you're broke, you spent it. If you've got a lousy, stinking, rotten job, you interviewed into it. If you're in a lousy, stinking, rotten relationship, you got yourself into that relationship. Now, back when I got that information, you got yourself into a relationship like that because you dated yourself in, or you talked to somebody on the phone. But now you Tinder yourself into bad relationships. You social media yourself into bad relationships. You get on a dating website and get yourself into a bad relationship. That's not the other person's fault. Here's another one. If somebody's nasty to you, or they abuse you, or they bully you, if they do it once, it's been suggested that that's their fault. That's who they are. And again, I'll rephrase that, because if I bring them into my life, that's not their fault, that's my fault. If I didn't do my research and I bring crappy people into my life, then why did I do that? I have to take responsibility that I did that. But if somebody bullies me, that's who they are. They've now revealed who they are. If somebody's nasty to me, or they pick on me, or they say horrible things about me, or they're negative, that's who they are, and they've revealed who they are. But if I keep them in my life and they do it again, that's not their fault anymore, is it? Because I have to take responsibility for that. I found out that they were a crappy person and I accepted that. And once I accept something, then I have to expect it's going to happen again. And that's taking responsibility. So when I look at those 4 big areas of life, healthy, fit and strong, love what you do, career or business, financially free, and you've got great people in your life, what if you take responsibility for those 4 areas rather than blaming your past? Rather than blaming other people, rather than blaming things out of your control, what about I say, how do I get healthy, fit and strong? How do I have a career or business that I love? How do I become financially free? And how do I only bring great people into my life? And could they be things that I have to be responsible for? So I could blame my past, or I could learn from it and I could apply it to my future and have a super future. But in the middle there is this really special thing called the present. And that's what I love about birthdays, because I think birthdays are a celebration of the present, pardon the pun. I can't change the past. I can plan for the future. But right now is the present, and that's why it's called a gift. Are you taking full advantage of the present? Are you loving every day? Are you appreciating the fact that you're alive? Are you loving everything that's ever happened to you without blame or justification or, oh, my life's terrible? How about my life is exactly what's happened to me. I can't change it. But today I can enjoy every minute, and I can learn from my past and from today so I can apply it to my future. And wouldn't that be a great thing to celebrate? An awesome past, a brilliant present, and an amazing future. Woohoo!